лекцію Таллі Каплан. Це керівник громадської організації Little Step, яка погодилась прийняти участь в нашій конференції, поділитись своїм досвідом. Отже, в них в Ізраїлі дуже багато різноманітних проєктів, і один із проєктів зараз набирає обертів.
So we are asking the technical support to show us the lecture of Таллі Каплан, head of the organization Little Steps. They have from Israel. They are having a lot of projects there, and we would like to hear about the one she is going to present us.
על ההזמנה, כי אני חושבת ששיתוף הפעולה בינינו, בין הארגונים, בין המרפאות, חברות התרופות והחוקרים, כולנו ביחד נוכל לקדם את הפעילות למען הילדים שלנו שחולים במחלה. אז אני טללי קפלן ואני מישראל.
Good day. Thank you for the opportunity to participate in the conference. I am grateful for the invitation because I believe that the cooperation between us, charities, clinics, pharmaceutical companies, and researchers will contribute to the promotion of various projects for the treatment of our children with Duchenne syndrome. My name is Таллі Каплан. I live in Israel. I am the founder and director of Little Steps, an organization that works for Duchenne Becker's patients in Israel. I will tell you about our activities. As I have already said, the name of the organization is Little Steps. Some information about me. About 12 years ago, my son on the photo was diagnosed with Duchenne disease. I am married to Amit. We have got 2 older children. Ori, 17 years old, and Shira, 18 years old. She currently serves in the Israeli army. As I said, 12 years ago, when the child was 1 year old, he was diagnosed with Duchenne disease. It was a launch for me and other parents to realize that we as parents have the power to influence the advancement of activities related to the treatment of this disease. The organization Little Step was founded in 2010 by parents of children with this disease in order to improve the quality of life and maximize the life of such children. We, like other charities, use an analytical approach and study all aspects related to this disease. Our activities are aimed at improving treatment and care and raising awareness. We have a whole unit that builds a support community. And another area of our activity is the initiation and promotion of experiments aimed at effective treatment of this disease. In order to improve the treatment, we organize conferences once every 2 years. We hold webinars every year, as well as seminars for specialists and for families of children with Duchenne. Our organization has initiated and became a co-founder of the creation of specialized multidisciplinary clinics. We work with them to promote qualitative treatment and research on Duchenne disease. We also help to provide the necessary medical care to those patients who could not receive certain services on their own or faced problems in the organization of treatment.
לשמחתנו כאשר יש תרופות חדשות, אז בישראל בעצם עובדים גם לפי FDA, גם לפי EMA, אז ככה שכאן באופן...
We are looking forward to the new drugs. Israel focused on the FDA and EMA regulation. Of course, there are different regulatory mechanisms for authorizing the sale of new drugs. And we, together with parents and pharmaceutical companies, are trying to facilitate the fastest procedure for such permission. During the pandemic, we organized physiotherapy groups and sponsored these groups. After all, patients were not able to receive these services through health insurance funds and hospitals. We have seen that there is a great need for such groups even after the restoration of the usual treatment regime. So we continued the work of these groups. In the field of awareness, one of the most important activities is writing and translating information manuals on both Hebrew and Arabic. We translated the instructions from the treatment standards. We have created a guide on what first steps should be taken in the fight against the disease to those patients and their families who first encountered this diagnosis. We have translated the manual of the American charity PPMD, Parent Project Muscular Dystrophy. It should be noted that from this organization we received the most information about the peculiarities of the organization of schooling, nutrition, physiology, and other aspects that accompany this disease. We have also created the album that aims to facilitate the entire disease management process. This is the way to store all the information and documentation related to the course of the disease. It also contains information about the different stages of the disease and highlights the important steps required for each stage of treatment. In the field of research, we cooperate with pharmaceutical companies and international charities, become sponsors of preclinical and clinical research. We have a national registry of all Israeli patients. This helps us protect the rights of patients and promote the necessary treatment projects. We are happy to promote new research in Israel, as well as help families at various stages of clinical trials. Our main industry is a family support center. The inspiration for the activities of our center is the needs of the families themselves.
אז חלק מהדברים שיש לנו זה למשל תמיכה רגשית פרטנית, זאת אומרת משפחות, בייחוד בשלב של...
Part of our work is psychological private support. Little Step finances psychological support through the organization of psychologists we work with. We organize a number of meetings for parents and for siblings.
עם עמותה שיש לנו שיתוף פעולה, אז אנחנו בעצם מגייסים את הכסף לאפשר סדרה של טיפולים להורים, לאחים. יש לנו, כמו שאמרתי, גם שיתופי פעולה בעצם עם עמותות וארגונים, כי אנחנו ממוקדים בחולים שלנו, אבל בגלל
Of course, our focus is on our patients, but because of they are scattered across the country, we need the help of charities that specialize in social activities aimed at improving the living conditions of those who need it. These organizations create groups and sections for children with disabilities in different parts of the country. Our organization has got 2 social workers, a research and treatment coordinator, and a coordinator of charitable contributions and public relations programs. Both coordinators organize and create support groups. This is a group of mothers, a group of fathers. Groups of siblings and grandparents are about to open. Also, in terms of charity, we have a vocational training project for children and adults, which aims to increase self-efficacy in any field.
בכל מיני תחומים של מדעים או תחומי מחשבים, סייבר, פיתוח אפליקציות, דברים שהם בעצם יוכלו בעתיד
There is also an organization that helps to solve legal and social issues, of course, for free.
עוד בתחום המשפטי שאנחנו עובדים איתו ללא עלות. ואחד הפרויקטים
And another of our significant projects is the training of assistance dogs.
והכשרה של כלבי שירות. זה פרויקט שאנחנו הקמנו בשנת 2015.
We initiated this project in 2015 after seeing helper dogs at conference of the American organization PPMD.
בעצם זה כלבים
These are the
שעוברים
dogs that undergo a special training program that lasts from 6 months to 1 year.
לאדם שאיתו הם
These dogs
אמורים
can perform about 70 different commands. For example, they know how to unzip the clothes, help to remove shoes and socks,
את החולצה, לעזור לחלוץ נעליים, להוריד גרביים, לעזור לקום מהרצפה. זה פרויקט מורכב שמניסיון
Such a dog, as experience shows, is not for everyone. This is, of course, first and foremost of our best friend, but there are some difficulties. We have a social worker who accompanies the process of integration of the dog with the family from the moment of the desire to have such a dog. Such support can take several years. This is primarily due to the need for maximum benefit from the helper dog. If you imagine someone sitting in a wheelchair and his keys or phone falling, he can't pick it up, the dog will be there to help. Suppose such a person wants to take a remote control from a set-top box to play, then he can ask the dog about it. And this is a significant help. But again, it is very important to know all the features of this project to choose the best dog for the family. The joint work of the coordinator and the child continues until the child or adult learns to use properly the help of a dog. Only then is a true friendship between man and dog born.
העמותה שלנו היא זאת שמגייסת את הכסף, והעלות היא מאוד גבוהה להכשרה של כלב, ואנחנו...
For today, our organization raises funds for the training of such dogs. By the way, the cost of such training is quite high.
זה פרויקט מדהים, אבל צריך באמת לדעת...
Definitely, there is a terrific project. It is very important to implement it correctly so that both the dog and the family interact and receive maximum benefit and pleasure from each other.
ילדים עם ניוון שרירים שגולשים על הגלים.
Another new project started 3 years ago. This is an exclusive project both in Israel and in the world. Children with muscular dystrophy surf.
זה שיתוף פעולה בעצם של 3
This project brought together 3 organizations. A surf school, a company that makes special surfboards. You can lie on your stomach and little steps. This type of active recreation is accompanied by a physiotherapist who monitors the safety of children.
שוב, גייסה את הכסף, הילדים שלנו הם אלה שגולשים. יש לנו פיזיותרפיסטית שמלווה את הפעילות הזאת כדי לוודא שבאמת...
Such classes can be attributed to hydrotherapy, which in itself is a physical activity, but on the other hand, it is something incredible. These are the emotions and impressions of children from their own activities, which they could not imagine. It is a feeling of complete harmony and satisfaction. Such classes are possible thanks to good people who voluntarily accompany children in their activity. After all, if a child suddenly falls into the water, he will not be able to climb back on the board. I'll show you some photos from our last meeting. This is an image of what is needed for 6-7 children to surf.
שבוע.
It takes about 30 adults to make such classes possible.
משפחה מגיעה,
Thus, surfing has become a family event.
3-4 מתנדבים על
This
כל
summer, during 8 weeks, we met every Friday. Each child should have 3-4 adults,
ובגלים,
both family members and volunteers,
זה אושר
to make the
גדול.
child feel safe and, most importantly, have fun. Of course, a lot depends on the waves. There were days when there were also jellyfish, but still, it's a great pleasure for everyone. A few more photos. You see Tama surfing on his tummy, under which, as you can see, there is a pillow.
למטה כאן מימין אפשר לראות את
There are
הדיפ
special devices on the board that you can hold with your hands.
כדי שהוא יוכל להיכנס למים.
From the top right, Aaron, who surfed while sitting.
כדי שהוא יוכל להיכנס למים יש כיסא גלגלים מותאם. ואתם רואים את כל הצוות
At the bottom right, Adi, who is already constantly using a wheelchair. He also surfed while sitting. On the right, you can see a chair designed for the boy to enter the water. You can also see how many people help him move from a chair to a surfboard and ride the waves.
זה ככה גם
Here you see children who have tried themselves in other types of surfing. Below my ID, who really wanted to surf while standing. Just look at how many people help him make a wish come true. He didn't surf while standing, but at that time, it was very important for him to get the impression that you were standing on a surfboard at sea on the water. So you see, it's such a summer event when everyone gathers to get sensational fun. All this is possible thanks to charitable gatherings and donations of caring people. We look forward to next summer, hoping to continue and expand such activities. This is amazing. We'll be happy to share our experience so that such activities can be real in other cities and other countries. Thank you. We will always be happy to help share experiences. Wish you success.
Дякую, Таллі Каплан. А зараз прошу підключити відеоролик, і ми трохи відійдемо на 5 хвилин перерва після демонстрації ролику.
Thank you, Таллі Каплан. And now I would like to ask to show the short video. And after the video, we will have a 5-minute break.
Дякую, Таллі Каплан, за ваші успіхи, за вашу роботу, за те, що ви завжди ділитесь досвідом.
Good afternoon again, Таллі Каплан. We again would let us express our thankfulness and impression of your work, of your experience, and thank you for sharing this experience with us.
Hi, thank you for inviting me for your great conference.
Дякую за те, що запросили на конференцію.
Я хочу сказати, що 8 років тому мені довелось поїхати в Ізраїль, тому що я, в принципі, не мала жодної інформації в Україні стосовно саме лікування пацієнтів з хворобою Дюшена.
8 years ago, I had to go to Israel because in Ukraine I had no information about treatment of Duchenne disease.
Ту інформацію, яку я мала, вона була не зовсім позитивною, і я вирішила шукати в інших країнах інформацію, як з такими дітьми відбувається лікування.
The information that I managed to gain in Ukraine was not very optimistic. So that's why I decided to go to Israel to find out everything that is connected with the treatment of such children.
Протягом 7 років я їздила в Ізраїль на консультацію до невролога та інших лікарів.
For 7 years, I have been traveling to Israel for the neurologist consultations and other specialist consultation.
Мені пощастило, і через Кесі Кіннети США я познайомилась саме з вами і познайомилась з Мілою Гумановською.
I was very lucky because with the help of the American doctor, I managed to meet you, and thanks to you, I met Mila Humanovsky.
Потім я почала вже знайомитись з іншими родинами і використовувала вже досвід саме, як живуть такі родини в Ізраїлі.
After that, I met other families who have Duchenne dystrophy children, and thanks to them, we started to share the experience how to live, how to deal with this disease.
Дякую за те, що ви була перша організація, про яку ми написали статтю в журнал і розповіли у нас в Україні, як живуть такі пацієнти, як працює організація, як допомагає держава.
We wrote an article here in Ukraine, the first article about the organization which deals with the Duchenne patients, and I am very thankful and happy that we're your organization.
Я знаю, що ви постійно знаходитесь в боротьбі. Боротьба була і 8 років тому, коли я вперше поїхала в Ізраїль, і знаю, що боротьба продовжується на даний час.
I know that your struggle against syndrome is endless. You were struggling 8 years ago, and you are struggling now.
І на даний час в мене таке питання. Скажіть, будь ласка, як зараз ви знаходите пацієнтів? Я знаю точно, що ваша організація, вона постійно поповнюється, багато дуже різних проєктів успішних. І скажіть, будь ласка, як ви знаходите пацієнтів з хворобою Дюшена і як ви з ними працюєте?
How do you currently find the Duchenne patients? I know that you are implemented a lot of successful projects, but how do you find patients?
So we cannot do something which is proactive because we don't know if there is someone who is just diagnosed. So we are doing several things. On one hand, we have our website. So, and we have information also for new diagnostic and to how to deal with the disease, research, information about our project. So families that are just getting the diagnosis can look in Google, search for Duchenne, and then they can find us and contact us. So this is one option. Another option is that the genetic counselor that is giving the diagnostics can also, we work with them So they will, when they give the family the diagnostic, so we ask them to inform the families about our existence and to give them the phone number of our social worker and to encourage them to reach us and contact us. So we do a lot of work with the genetic counselors that they will know about our activities and why it's important to say that. And another way is through the centers, the clinics in Israel. So we work with the neurologist, with the genetic counselor in those Duchenne centers. So also, if there is a social worker which is part of the center, she's in contact with our social worker, and when she meets new families, she encourages them to contact us.
Взагалі, це залежить, звичайно, від діагностування, але є три основних шляхи, за допомогою яких ми знаходимо пацієнтів. Перший шлях стосується тих пацієнтів, у яких нещодавно було діагностовано синдром Дюшена. Для таких пацієнтів у нас працює веб-сайт, на цьому веб-сайті є вся інформація, і пацієнти самі зв'язуються з нами. Другий шлях – це так званий генетичний радник, який виставляє діагноз. І от коли до нього звертаються для проведення генетичного тесту, і діагноз уже стає зрозумілий, то генетик якраз і каже батькам і сім'ї цього пацієнта, інформує про наше існування, а також дає усі контактні дані, і батьки з нами зв'язуються. І третій шлях – це ізраїльські клініки, точніше спеціалізовані центри у клініках. Ми співпрацюємо безпосередньо із неврологами і генетиками, і коли такі пацієнти з'являються, також їм зразу надається інформація і наші контактні дані.
Скажіть, будь ласка, скільки років наймолодшому пацієнті з хворобою Дюшена і скільки років найстаршому пацієнту з хворобою Дюшена в Ізраїлі?
What is the age of the youngest patient, Duchenne patient in Israel, and what is the age of the oldest Duchenne patient in Israel?
So about the youngest patient, there is a special story. There is a woman who was diagnosed while she was pregnant. She was tested. I don't know how to say this test in English, how it called. But so during a pregnancy, she did a test and it found out that the baby is having Duchenne. She decided to keep this pregnancy, and when she gave birth, she was asked to do again a genetic test for now after he was born. So he has a Duchenne. So it's very unique, and most of the time, if someone is diagnosed while she's pregnant, she's giving up. But we have very young boys who are diagnosed at the age of 1 or 2. The oldest are in their 40s.
Що стосується наймолодшого пацієнта з діагнозом синдром Дюшена в Ізраїлі, то тут була унікальна історія, тому що жінка зробила генетичний тест під час вагітності, і генетичний тест показав, що, можливо, її дитина буде мати синдром Дюшена. Жінка прийняла рішення зберегти вагітність, і коли дитина народилась, її попросили зробити ще один тест. Тест підтвердив, що дитина хвора на синдром Дюшена. Крім того, у нас є і ще малі пацієнти в віці від 1 до 2. А що стосується найстаршого пацієнта, то він в його 40-х роках, 40 із хвостиком.
Я знаю, що в вашій країні, як і в нашій країні, є родини, де мають по декілька дітей, і всі вони мають хворобу Дюшена, і по 2 дітей, і 2, і навіть 4, наскільки я пам'ятаю, є в одній родині в Ізраїлі. Як держава допомагає таким родинам?
I know that there are families where not one Duchenne patients but two, and as far as I remember, there is even the family with 4 Duchenne boys. What ways does the government help these families?
Unfortunately,
Any support?
there is no difference if you have 1 or more children with Duchenne. As of so if the question is specifically if you have more than 1 child with Duchenne, I mean, there is no difference. In general, you get kind of payment if you have disability. So there are several payment if you have different kinds of disability or different kinds of function. So you are being paid. You get kind of specific amount to help you to deal with this situation. So if you have more than 1 child, so the payment is based on this. I mean, if you have 2 kids or Duchenne, or if you have someone in the family who has different disease that needs to be paid, so you're getting this payment. In general, also, I mean, the health system is the visits in the clinic are being paid by the government. I mean, you don't need to pay. It's not under private insurance or something. So it's public health, and you can get twice a year to the Duchenne clinics.
Ну, тут, на жаль, немає різниці, скільки в сім'ї Duchenne пацієнтів, 1 чи кілька. Але я б хотіла сказати, що, по-перше, регулярні візити до клініки, які відбуваються взагалі до спеціалізованої клініки Duchenne, це 2 рази в рік, вони оплачуються урядом. Ми не платимо за такі візити. Але що стосується дітей, особливо якщо у них є будь-які або дітей, або людей в Ізраїлі, якщо в них які-небудь є обмеження фізичні, вони отримують виплати. І якщо ці обмеження пов'язані із синдромом Дюшена, також вони отримують виплати. Якщо це не 1 Дюшена пацієнт, а кілька, то, звичайно, виплати отримуються на кожного пацієнта.
Скажіть, будь ласка, чия була ідея стосовно проєкту по серфінгу?
Whose idea was the surfing project?
It was my idea. I saw a post on Facebook that there is a lady that is looking for people with physical disabilities who want to try to surf. And I contacted her and I spoke with her, and it appears that it was someone who used to surf, and during her service in the army she was injured, and so she cannot move her leg. And during a project from the army, from the rehabilitation part of the army, she was able to get the project that professional could build a specific and adaptive surfing board. So after she began to surf, she wanted to do something for general community. So she was doing some small event and looking for people with disability who wanted to surf. So I decided that I will come with the Ziva. And after the children enjoyed so much, we started together as 2 organizations, and in general it was partnership of 3 organizations, to do this as an event every summer, which kind of camp for a few meetings, and then it became the way it's now.
Це трапилось таким чином, що на Фейсбуці я побачив інформацію від жінки, яка запитувала, чи є люди якісь із фізичними вадами, які хочуть навчитися і насолоджуватися серфінгом. Як виявилося, я зв'язалася з цією жінкою. Ця жінка служила в армії. Під час служби для Збройних сил вона отримала поранення і мала певні фізичні обмеження. Під час того, як вона проходила реабілітацію, програму реабілітації, вона навчилася серфінгувати, а також їй дали дошку для серфінгу. Вона навчилась робити це сама і захотіла щось зробити для спільноти. Тому вона і надала таку інформацію у мережі. І ми робимо це зараз ми робимо це кожного літа, дітям це дуже подобається. Ми влаштовуємо для них літні табори серфінгу, і цей проєкт дуже добре розвивається.
Ваш проєкт стосовно терапії собаками, саме породи лабрадор, теж мала певний період великий успіх, і нам теж в Україні подобається така ваша ідея, але ми б трохи по-іншому мали підхід до реалізації цього проєкту.
Your project about Labrador dog therapy was very good too, and we had the idea to implement it in Ukraine, but the approach to this project in Ukraine was a little bit different.
Сьогодні у нас в залі присутні із клубу кінологи, які теж хотіли перейняти певний досвід, але ідея полягає не в тому, щоб віддавати собаку в родину, а приходити до родини, приходити чи до лікарні, і щоб дитина мала певні позитивні емоції з собаками.
Today, here with us, we have the representatives of the club, Training Dog Club, and speaking about this project, implementation of this project in Ukraine, the approach is not giving the dog to the family, but to come with the dog with the man or with the lady comes to the hospital to this child.
Тому ми запросили сьогодні пана Дудіка для того, щоб він поділився своїм досвідом, як він спрацював з пацієнтською організацією, як він працював саме безпосередньо з пацієнтами. А вам дуже дякуємо і сподіваємось, що ми ще зустрінемось.
So today we have invited Mr. Dudik, he is a dog handler, and we ask him to share his ideas and experience how he collaborated with the patients' organization.